It's chaos, I get it.
Don't really want to call you something.
Heck yeah.
You're a barista?
No.
No?
I just do black coffee, that's it.
Just black coffee?
Yeah.
Would you guys consider yourselves baristas?
I would say it is my job.
It is
and
your
my
job?
only job. Yeah.
Your only job, okay. Is that a real chain? Fake chain?
Real.
Real chain.
Neat design.
What do you think of those Born Primitive shoes?
I really like the Born Primitive shoes.
That's the second time I've seen them. I like the look of them. They more minimalist flat.
Are you still with Reebok?
A couple more weeks.
A couple more weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm recording.
Yeah, all right.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
Just getting the tour?
The dogs gave me a tour.
Dogs give you a tour?
Yeah, they're good.
Did Bill show you some tees at first? Surprising.
Oh no, which one's which?
Bill's the yellow one and Gipper is the old man there.
No, Bill's
Golden
cool.
Doodle. Usually he doesn't know you. Surprising. I've never really seen a lab get protective, but he gets pretty protective until you show you're nice, then he's fine.
How far did you use bike?
17 miles, but it was basically 10 hill repeats. It's about 8/10 of a mile up, about 300 feet of climbing.
Luke said he's still recovering from that thing you did on Sunday or Saturday.
He also didn't really train. Like I'm about 3 weeks, I guess, into what I would call my Leadville training. So
When is that?
Leadville is in same weekend as the games.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big week.
Yeah, it'll be a big week, so I'll probably get there Saturday afternoonish.
They remind me a lot of the Nano 2.
Okay.
And everyone just put them
Wider.
on. Yeah.
What size are you?
10 and a half. Try it on.
Perfect. The universal shoe around here.
Right, 10 and a half.
Yeah, that does feel more like a traditional. Man, I've gotten into those barefoot, and I just like very minimalist.
Yeah.
It's helped my knee where I tore that meniscus in 17, like building up all this stuff in my feet. It's helped my knee a lot, actually.
So you've been doing foot training?
I wouldn't necessarily even call it training, just using barefoot shoes. You know,
Got it.
like the very minimalist shoe.
Not the
Even
toe
when
shoes though, right?
No, not that far.
No.
Not that far gone, you know.
It's not really the same thing, is it?
No, I'll show them to you. You know, I started with the hunting boots and really liked those.
Would you say you got like a wide toe?
Yeah, I've got a wide toe box, short little fat foot, but about, like I said, 10 and a half is where I'm at, but I think when it's so tight on the sides, it's just not fun.
This is Mayhem. This is the area that we keep our main classes going. So in the mornings, we only have one class at a time. We'll have our 8:15 that's going to start in just a couple of moments, and that typically is one of our bigger classes in the day. If we have anybody that comes into the facility, so say they just move here because they want to pursue a competitive track, like I said, we do have a population cap on this area per season. So the way that it works in terms of access is that if you were a semifinals or games athlete last year and you had maintained your access through the year, during the open season, you can earn that access again for the following year by qualifying for semis again. So that'll extend through quarters. If you don't qualify for semis, then the access drops to the regular gym access, but you still have access throughout the day for that. After semifinals, when we have people that don't qualify and then we have our games athletes that have qualified, the access back here drops to games athletes only, just because their training usually ramps up and then that gives them that priority on the space. If you go through the game season, let's say that you qualify for semis but you don't qualify for the games, as soon as the games is over, then access opens back up until that next open season for those athletes that did have access during semis to come back here and begin training again. And then if there's downtimes and everything, like it's not like absolutely no access back here at all. We've got our plunge tanks that are in the back. We've got a sauna there as well. So those athletes that may not have qualified for the games still will be back here and use those kind of things. I'll show you where those are at too.
Is that top secret information?
What's that? Top secret. Yeah, you're gonna have to like blur and blur out my face too.
Done.
So that I
Done.
wasn't here.
Your kids wear shoes?
Not a lot.
No?
No.
Is it something where you look at the shoe you give to them and you're looking at their life there forward?
Yeah, you're trying to minimize, kids at I think it's a thing right now. Like Jordans, they love J1s. And
Your kids do?
Yeah, like
You said
they're
10.76, right?
Yeah, they're like not knockoff because they're like the Velcro type looking ones. They still look like a J1, but yeah, Lakeland watched the Last Chance documentary with me, and after that she was all in on Michael Jordan. So yeah.
Jordan's your guy?
Man, I didn't grow up playing basketball, so I didn't really. I knew who Jordan was growing up. I was a big baseball guy.
Your guy
football,
is the Lions
Barry
running
Sanders.
back.
Yeah, Barry
right.
Sanders is my childhood hero. But then after watching The Last Chance, I was 100% in on Jordan.
And your take on LeBron versus Jordan is?
Like I said, I'm not a basketball guy per se, but man, Jordan was just a dude. I watched I've not seen a ton of behind the scenes stuff with LeBron, but Jordan, yeah, he gets a bad rap, but I just like the style, I guess.
So with that, you have I don't know if you look at the comment section, you used to have this thing about you where every once in a while you throw something somewhere and
every once in a while,
the internet would erupt. And the most contentious topic in the internet is you versus Fraser.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
Morning.
How are you?
Well,
You won the games last year.
Yeah.
And when the end of the quarterfinals hit, you were out of contention.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any part of you that was sitting there regretting your decision? Like,
No, not regretting, but I understand the process. Like, I know it takes time, and like when I made the goal of winning the games on team, it took me 4 years to do it. So that's kind of the same mindset I took to individuals. Like, I know it's going to take time for me to get to that level. So I understood, hey, if I don't make it, the things I need to work on, but also I did make it, so now it's like learning each step, like learning the next level and training.
The individual
So, the individual. It's totally different. It's
goal this year is make it there.
Yes. So this year is to make it, and just learn as much as I can, and then bring it back to my coaches and see what I can improve on.
What size shirt is that?
XL.
Nice. Always XL?
Yeah, always XL, I like it nice and loose. So I started this back when I was at Invictus. It's actually called like the Sam Dancer warm-up. So it's like just accumulating some volume, waking your glutes up, and then hamstrings, and then on here, same thing, just like your backside.
this thing's the reverse hyper.
Yeah, reverse hyper. I don't know, I feel like it works for me. It kind of like bulletproofs my back, so I don't.
Do you have back issues?
No, like I've never had back issues, but I also like.
So how do you know it bulletproofs it?
I don't. So like the times that people are like, "Oh, I'm really sore. That was hard. Is your back sore?" I'm like, "No, my back's fine."
Okay.
I mean, I guess I could gauge it off that, but
That works.
yeah.
Is that heavy?
No, just
Not
a
really.
45 and a 25 on each
I
side.
guess I've never used it, so I don't know.
Yeah. You should try it. It'll get your glutes going. Wanna try it?
Nah, I'm a cameraman. I'm good.
I don't think that'll ever go away, and that's good for both of us. You
Right.
know, like
That's what I say.
And people get so fired up about it, and I'm just like, man, it was different eras. You know, we're different eras. He was incredible. I had a good run while I was doing it, and it's good for both of us. As long as people argue it, it's good for both of us. You know?
I think that everybody's right.
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
I mean, because my opinion is that it's you.
Oh, I appreciate
And then
that.
someone else could be sitting here and have their opinion and say
Yeah,
this.
it's Matt,
Fraser.
and you could probably argue it until it's dead, and you won't come to a conclusion.
Do you have an opinion?
No, I think, like I said, we're
You're not
just
biased being
No, I
one of the
mean,
two?
you know, I think we both, like I said, we're at different points in the sport. I think we both did good things to push the sport forward, and you know, let history, I guess, figure that out. I don't, man. When I was younger, heck yeah, I'd get into the debate.
yeah.
I was into the like I would, you know, I'd get so focused on it, hyper focused on it, and then the older I get, as lame as it sounds, I'm like, who gives a shit, you know?
It's fun for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I bet it's
I mean,
fun
it
for you.
pushes
Yeah.
all my stuff
Heck
forward,
yeah.
and like your bit right there is gonna be incredible.
Yeah.
I've never seen this one before.
Rehab.
ACL?
Yeah. Constant rehab.
Tell me how you did that again.
Bouncing hung power cleans.
How heavy?
85 kilos. So
It's heavy.
heavy, yeah.
And it's that rebounding thing, right?
Yeah, I think I was too tired, so I normally rebound quite high, but I think the bar came a bit too low, and my right foot was in slightly. So as I've tired, my foot's gone in. I bounced it, and my knee went the other way.
How long ago?
11 months ago.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people have you heard have that happen to them doing that movement?
Not many.
Not many?
I've known, like, a lot of people have come to me saying they've done their ACL, especially females, like doing box jumps and things, but never.
From rebounding a hang clean.
Yeah.
And you were bouncing it.
And I was just bouncing the bar.
Have you done it since?
Light.
Yeah.
But not heavy.
What'd Dan say about that?
He said never do it.
Knock it off?
And then I look at people like Justin this year, and now we're talking about champions. Like, how do you feel about him and his placing this year? Do you have any insight as someone who did it the way you did it? Maybe.
Man, it's hard.
Because he finished 13th.
It's hard year after year after year. You know, there's this piece of you that, you know, it's always there. It's always on the back of your head. For me, for Matt, you hear Matt talk. It's an obsession, you know, it really is. And it's not something that goes away. You know, it's not something you can get away from year to year if you keep winning. And it doesn't get like, oh, I won. It was never like I won, I get to celebrate. It was like a relief.
That you finally did it?
That you won that year. So then you got a couple days to just like chill out, and then a couple days. It was like Christmas as a kid, you know, like you get most of the things you wanted, but the day after Christmas, what are you thinking about?
What you want next year.
Exactly. And so that's the way it was, man. And that's the obsession, and that's the, you know, I've come to terms with over the last couple of years. I've got a little bit of substance abuse. I think that's my substance abuse is fitness. And I think it helped me, you know, like I've you know, everything that you've seen and been in has come from that. But yeah, man, I think that was a lot of the, you know, you look at a perfect storm of, I have incredible parents, an incredible support system, and my wife, my family. My parents and family are the hardest working people. My wife's super hardworking. Like, I had all that. Super competitive, being one of 32 first cousins, 25 boys. Girls were really super athletic, and you know, good. I would say really good, like coaches growing up. So you take all that together, and that's where we are. So, you know, it was a good run. 85.
Squat.
That's finally get my hips working.
Hell yeah. Hey Dan.
Hello.
Look at this thing.
Look at this.
Do you think it's a coincidence that they just left this out here?
They left it there for you.
You think that they just left it out by coincidence, or do you think it's a reminder?
I think it's going to be stuck up on a wall somewhere or something.
I think so too.
Okay. So just to be sure that pulls are clean, that the movement
No
is
vein on the back of your shoulder.
very well warmed
good.
up, especially for your nervous system. That has to be the general.
Special guest. He's called Connor.
Show me the other one. Can you pull on both
He's
sides?
not as bad. Double whammy.
Oh, yeah.
Are they both there?
Oh no.
Yeah, they're different.
They're very different, yeah. Connor's real bad. He's
I've
growing.
seen that before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's called Connor, and he's part of the family now, isn't he?
Well, if you keep on doing CrossFit, what you're telling me is it's going to be this big.
Yeah.
And
it's
in
gonna
maybe a year.
It's going to grow a personality and start having its own opinions and maybe control me one day.
That'd be cool.
Justin's gonna do better this year.
I think so, man. I think maybe that does take a little pressure off, or maybe it adds a little bit more pressure. I don't know. You know, like I've talked to Justin in passing, but I don't have a you know, one-on-one relationship with him that great. You know, to where we talk regularly. I hope the best for him, man. It's I've been there. You know, it's not fun. It is fun, and it's not fun. You know,
Right.
like. Yeah, it's great that we get to work out or got to work out for a living.
Just
any of us,
yeah.
you know, any of us, and got to win the CrossFit Games. And
Justin lives like a parallel to that. He's
Yeah.
working out, but you never crossed.
Right. And so, you know, it's you can get so caught up in it in the moment. I think that one day you'll look back. You know, like I look at the 2 second places at the time, and I still hate them. Maybe in 10 or 15 years, I might like them a little bit better.
The 1 in 10 and the 1 in
10 and 1 in
15?
17.
17.
Yeah.
Team.
Yeah. Team 1. So both of those I look at, and I'm just like, gosh, dang it.
Those hurt the same?
Yeah, kind of in their own right, a little bit different, but also the same. You know, the hardest part about that first one was not knowing, you know, being pulled off the floor as soon as it was over and not knowing, and then seeing Graham's name written on the check while we're sitting there waiting is how I found out.
Didn't he make some crazy amount of money more than you did?
It was $25,000 he made,
Versus
and then I
like-
made $500 to Under Armour, a gift card I never used.
Yeah, man, I feel like as far as the fitness side of it, it's fun, but I feel like I feel called for some reason into like being around all these athletes going through all this. I feel like I have a little bit of a testimony. 21, I took a major penalty in the Atlas Games for a thruster lockout. To the last chance qualifier in 21, took third. Roman and Carone made it in. And then 22, came up short by a spot or two. And then last year it was 2 spots out. Hatfield was in 13th, I was in 14th out of the East, which I felt like Hatfield deserved to go last year. He was fit and he's kind of proving to everybody right now that he's ready to ride. To try to help them through the, man, I came up a place short or I got dinged out, but like my worth and my value isn't based on where I place.
Right.
I know we get judged on that a lot in the sport, but being able to conquer that's a big thing. It's taken me, obviously, a couple years of doing it, but.
So this year, make the games, goal?
It's the goal.
It's been the goal, and then we'll
honestly,
see.
just to enjoy and fitness as much as I can while trying to serve in the coaching space too. Maybe take a little stress off the competing side too. This is the first year that I won't be competing like full time as like this is my job and my primary role and goal in life. Which obviously some other things in life. I became a husband last year, which has been awesome. And
congrats.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been eye-opening and perspective shifting and like all the good things. God's good.
The money didn't matter to you, but it was.
But hell yeah,
you get the big check and you got a little guy, or what?
I was getting married next year. You know, like it would have been, you know, a good.
You're like, Heather, I swear.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna do better next year.
I mean, I guess the jump from 25,000 to 250,000 the next year was all right, though.
Right.
You know,
and then second made what, 75 or something?
I don't know. Back then, I think it was like 25 or 10 or something. It was something.
Still would have been better than 500.
Still better than nothing.
And a Panda Express gift card
exactly,
or whatever.
Exactly.
Look pretty good.
Thank you.
I just turned around and I'm like, this dude's power clean at 365. What the hell?
I don't know. It was a pretty low power clean.
I think it was power. I'll have to go to the footage.
Yeah. You'll have to review it and let me know.
What's your name, dude?
Ethan.
Ethan what?
Griffin.
Ethan Griffin?
Griffin.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Good clean.
Thank you.
Very good clean. It. Yes.
How often do you speak about all like your previous experiences? Because I'm wandering around. I've been kind of soaking Mayhem.
Yeah.
And it's very different here than what I consumed as somebody who's coming up watching people like you do what you were doing.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering like how often you even talk about that sort of stuff with the people around present day, or even to stuff like this on camera.
I don't think much, actually. I think, you know, my role is more of mentor. So like if athletes want to come up and talk or ask about certain situations, or I feel like I've got enough kind of miles with them, then yeah, I'll, you know, impart some, I wouldn't even say knowledge, more of like my experience on them. And so it's been fun, you know, some of the younger athletes asking some of the questions. And I think about like Seth is kind of the more recent one as of late.
He seems like he's got a bunch of potential.
He's got a bunch of potential. He's a good kid. He works hard. And
he's young.
He's super young.
He's kind of built for it. You look at him, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he just, he's inquisitive, which I like. And, you know, he's one of the first guys that, I think I said this on a podcast, that he came up to me and was like, hey, should I keep doing this? Should I, you know, like,
I heard
move
that.
on?
That
And
was
I was
good.
like, dude,
I think I actually get props to him for that at one point, which is completely different than the first time I heard of him.
Yeah.
Which was at the games.
Right.
And he goes, when are we going to start doing CrossFit? I go, dude, it's your first year.
Yeah.
You're at the CrossFit games. It's CrossFit.
It's
dude.
CrossFit. It was all CrossFit.
And then you said that about him on a podcast. I go, this dude's, I like Seth.
Yeah, Seth is a good kid. So we've got a bunch of good kids around. I just, you know, it's so weird for me up until till last summer. You know, I was working out at 35 years old, and a lot of these guys are 25 or younger.
Push around with them?
Oh yeah. This time of year they'll start to get more semifinals, a little bit more focused, I guess. We did a lot of, I trained there quite a bit up until till quarterfinals, and the stress starts to set in, and then I kind of like pull back until they need something. And I feel like I've got to do something hard too, almost in like solidarity to them. So that's why I've kind of started Leadville training, and I'm like, I need to. It's that time of year, I think. It's just like an old habit, I think. It's like, all right, it's time to suffer a little bit. So it's weird.
I brought on Mr. Froning in to watch you guys do the cold tub. I heard he's incredibly judgmental too, so don't make any faces.
Are you really?
What do you think?
It's warm. It's gonna be cold. Ah! 10 seconds. Oh, it's scary. Go, Robert, go! Let's go.
Oh, he got all the way in.
Nice.
22. It's good.
I think they're doing okay. It's usually not too bad after about 30 seconds. Yeah.
Next.
Me?
Stay 1 more minute.
Come on, you have to.
The thing is,
Come on, just breathe, relax. It's always fun if you want to go up.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey Roman, why are your hands out?
That was 1 minute.
Oh, you're getting out already?
It gets worse when you get out. I'll hold the camera for you if you want to get in.
Oh man, I'm retired. I don't do that. I'll get in if Mr. Froning gets in. You getting in there? No. No? Not today?
No.
Okay. All right. Why'd you wear your socks in there? It's easier. Come on.
I reached out to you in August, which is like the time of the games.
Yeah.
And you responded, and the thing that I asked you was, you think you could have had a shot at the podium or maybe winning the games this year? Because I looked at the programming, I made this whole video, and a whole lot of people got down with it. They're like, yeah, man, he probably could have done pretty well. Do you, as a 36-year-old currently, look at this stuff and say, if I threw my hat in the ring, how could I do?
The hard part, man, is recovery at this point. Like, I feel like 1 or 2 workouts, like I've still got it. You know, like you have those days where you're like, oh.
I gotta ask you something. Have you seen this thing that Sevon did with Taylor Self recently? It's called Kill Taylor.
No, I feel like I saw an Instagram clip where it said Kill Taylor, but I didn't know what it was.
So the idea of it is every week, it started off at $500, and every week somebody doesn't beat Taylor on a workout made for him to kind of dominate.
Yeah.
You know, like you go do 30 ring muscle ups, right? You're good at that.
Right.
So he's gonna make workouts good for him, and he's sending out links to random people to kill Taylor.
Hell yeah.
And if they beat him, $500. And if no one does, it rolls over, and then it's 1,000, 1,500, 2,000.
Almost like, was it Broken Skull, what they did with Tommy a couple
Similar,
years ago?
yeah. Sevon wanted to know if you'd ever be in for maybe substituting for him one day.
Maybe.
So, hey, Rich.
Yeah, we could do that.
Week 10, Taylor's out of town. You want to jump in and kill Rich?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, potentially.
Potentially, yeah. Maybe he keeps momentum in the fall. That's when I'll
There's
get
like
back in,
$10,000 and Rich is in shape. And it's like,
yeah. Give me some time to be in like actual CrossFit shape.
Right.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
All right.
It could be something like what we're about to do.
What we're about to do?
Yeah. What is that? What are we doing?
What time domain you want to go? If we
That's
go
up to you.
So we'll go 5
toe to bar.
toe to bar, 25 foot on the obstacle, 10, 15, 20, 10, 12 minutes. What do you think?
12.
12? All right.
Longer.
Let's do it.
Let's
12
do
minutes.
toe to bar. Maybe we'll do 160.
Yeah, 161.
Yeah.
60.
The best base for me is when you open a cabinet and something falls out and you catch it. And you're like, hell yeah.
I tell that to Alexis all the time. I go,
still,
did you see that?
You're like, I still got it.
Did you see that?
And then there's days where you miss it by a mile and you're like, all right, I'm getting
Slow.
old, you know? So that's the way I feel with CrossFit, man. It's there's days where I'm, you know, or I go through like couple week periods where I'm like, damn, I feel good. I feel like I could still compete. And then, you know, after I add in too much volume, my body's like, hey, dude, we've taken a beating over the last couple years. We're gonna take it easy for a couple days. So
I was just talking to Luke about that as he was doing his prehab.
Saturday was the third hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
What were the first two?
First two was this race called 6 Gap. It's a road bike race over 6 mountains in Georgia, and it's like over 10,000 feet elevation gain. It's a 100-mile race, so it's a century ride. And it took me 7.5 hours where I was on the bike the whole time.
What was the second hardest?
Second hardest is a half Ironman.
These are all endurance events.
Yeah.
Where does the 2013 CrossFit Games stack up?
2013?
2023.
2023?
Yeah, ends in a 3. My dyslexia.
Like 10th hardest, maybe?
10th, okay.
Yeah.
I like the ranking system, though.
Yeah.
It's good. Nice grips.
Thank you.
You don't want to mess your hands up?
Yeah. I know they don't allow that competition, but...
It's pretty good, Luke. It's pretty good.
So I'm doing like a mini version of like calf prehab rehab stuff and knees over toes mixture.
Yeah.
I did a bunch of this when I at Wadapalooza. I strained my calf. It was the first time I've ever done that in like my entire life. So I did like a whole like 2-month protocol of just like knees over toes, calf raises, single leg jumps and stuff. I still do a little bit of it just because it's like, you know how it is. If you hurt your shoulder.
How old are you now?
30. I just turned 30 like a couple weeks ago, yeah. So now I gotta like actually warm up and prehab all the time. Yeah, getting needled regularly.
I have to show my buck rack because we got Hiller in the camera.
I got no buck rack.
This is not OnlyFans page. This is Hiller's page.
Yeah, both QLs, please, and thank you.
How often do you do this, Luke?
I'd say on average all year, I'd try to do it once a month, at least in my quads. But anytime something flares up, I'll do it right away.
You said you were in here yesterday for your quads.
I was in here yesterday for my
Makes it
quads.
2 times in 2 days.
Luke's a theme for some needles.
Yeah, I'd say as like the game starts getting close in the semifinals. I mean, what do you think, AJ? Once a week?
Yeah.
At least on average.
It's not really that much.
Yeah. I'll like take a few weeks off and then all of a sudden I'll do it like 3 days in a row. Different body parts.
I'm gonna clip that bit about saying Luke's a fiend for needles. Oh, you connect those two? Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a little.
Just like a TENS unit that you hook up to it.
You connect them to the needles? Oh
Yep.
no.
Oh yeah.
You look like a car battery, homie.
How's that?
There it goes.
That probably didn't feel good.
No, I'm joking.
Hey, your goal is to win the games, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
I think I heard you say that maybe 2 years ago, 1 year ago.
Yeah, I mean that's always the goal.
Still the goal.
Yeah.
Cool. Always the goal. How's it looking this year?
My goal this year is to show up to the games healthy, and like I don't like talking about it because it's like Rich is a good role model for me, and I don't think he's shown up to 1 games without an injury, but you've never heard of any of them because he never talks about it. So I guess the goal this year would be less trying to peak my fitness and more trying to be healthy, because I think the guys that obviously are peaked are going to do the best, but the guys who are the healthiest do the best at the games, in my opinion. Like I remember talking to Ben Smith as he was going out to do team this past year, and we're going out to do the flag, like the ceremony before the games. And I happened to be walking with him, and I was like, hey man, that year you won it, I'm just curious, like what was the difference? And he was like, I was healthy. That was all he said. He's like, every year I'm fit, but I was healthy that year.
And that's stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, dang, think about that.
Yeah.
Which I don't think many people talk about.
No.
Prehab.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've always really tried to talk about. People who want to take it seriously. I go, dude, take care of yourself.
Yep.
Like, don't just throw your head through the wall.
For sure, man.
And
That's something.
he was doing like knee work and ankle work, and he said picked that all up from you, squatting on the wall.
Yep.
What do you think about all that?
The older I've gotten, that's why I try to tell these kids is like, you got to strengthen everything around what we do, because we do, and
knees over toes guy.
I dabbled with some of it, and I've taken some of the stuff. Some of it's a little bit like I can't do all of that every day. Maybe a couple times a week. I do a lot of anterior tib stuff.
I saw a guy in there. I think his name was Nate.
Oh, nice. This is the move right here.
Pack on the tibs.
I've never really seen anyone go into work with one of these.
Yeah, bro. Let's go.
What are you doing it for?
Well, I've seen influencers use it, so I figure it does something good for you.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, so I'm only allowed to do 1 session today, so I did it. But I'm kind of sad inside that I'm only allowed to do 1, so I'm doing this to kind of make myself feel better inside. Just try and keep the routine. That's what I'm doing. Just made it up.
You did get this from some influencer on the internet.
I literally did.
Yeah,
I just saw all those movements, and I'm like, I'm doing that. One of them is from Guy. This one right here, the arm bar. Sick.
Is that a wrestling move? What's the point of this one? He said he isn't sure.
Ask him.
Ask him. Dom, you know what's the arm bar for?
Oh, this? My shoulders.
Yeah, he said Nick's becoming an influencer.
Yeah, trying to be an influencer.
We're trying to get his snatch grip a little narrower.
Yeah, like Nina. I just saw you over at squatting over there.
Elastic extension.
Yeah, it looked good. You're real narrow.
Yeah, you want to see a really good one?
Look at that.
It'll be less tiring.
I got a chest over here. A little wider.
No thoracic extension.
Did you get 31 clean and jerks on that final bar? How many clean and jerks you got on that final bar? 37? Dude.
Nate,
Nate was doing it.
Dude,
Funny.
anterior tib is kind of like one of those forgotten muscles. It helps a ton strengthening that and stabilizing the knee.
You ever see anyone with like a giant anterior tib muscle?
Oh yeah.
You got one? You look at that, you ever flex that guy?
They're getting there.
I see it.
Right
It's
in
firing.
there.
Yeah, it looks good.
But yeah, I think it's, you know, and that's something that I've learned over the years of just, I think you go back and you look at CrossFit's dangerous, all this stuff.
Oh, well.
Look at these athletes who've been doing it for years. Yeah, we're doing something at the upper limits. Like,
to be the fittest on earth.
Exactly. You got to be obsessive. You're going to have to put in the time. Do I think CrossFit as a whole, like the members at the gym? Heck yeah. If you can separate your ego, listen to a coach, do the workout, do the warm up. I'm not saying it's 100% safe. Anything that's effective is not 100% safe, but better off than sitting on your couch, you know? So CrossFit.
Which is equally as dangerous.
Exactly. CrossFit, the games is different, but the same as CrossFit and the affiliate.
We need a lot of machine work, so we're prioritizing all her machine work, and then sneaking in some strength. But there'll be stuff where like we blend and do like all together, like they'll all squat together at some point today, and then the PM session today will be all the same workout.
They're all going to work out together?
They should. Yeah, they should. So it's like something new we're trying here this year. It's like we're finding a blend between individualized programming and like just like what Rich has built, like the community of people, like, and there is something beautiful to that. Like, these guys have gotten better from working out with people that are way better than them.
Do you know who Mike Halpin is?
Oh, have I heard that name?
It's known and knowable. He's a stat guy in this space. He does all this stuff that no one else wants to do.
Yeah.
And he just pulls internet data. But he put up this graphic of the females from last year. There's 40 of them. And it's almost like a Hunger Games thing. And there's grayed out spots on that of athletes that will not be returning, whether it be from injury or from a quarterfinals issue. And it's one of those things where you look at it, it's like, it's crazy, the lifespan of a potential CrossFit Games athlete. When you think about prehab,
that can extend it.
And then the other issue, which I need to ask you about, is you know it's coming, Old Page.
I try to think of it both ways. I try to think of it like, I mean, obviously, should Paige be competing?
Right?
Yeah. At the same time, like, do I watch the NFL and then I look at certain divisions and I'm like, how is that team even in the playoffs? Like, this is the dumbest thing ever. And someone sitting at home that went like 10-6. Yes. So it is a bit of the nature of sport, but they got to figure something out. I think the biggest thing they can do better to make some really good adjustments would be to do top 80 in the US, divvy it up between the divisions how they see fit. Then you don't have to worry about strength of field in the US either. You can give the same amount of spots to the games from both the West and the East. Just do top 80 like when they did top 120. And then you also don't have the major discrepancies that you see between the West and the East scores either.
Right.
So I think that could really fix a lot of problems. So then even if like Paige got a minor, she'd probably still be in the top 80.
What's that looking like over there?
Man, that's a tough one, you know, because I want, you want what's best for the sport as far as standards upheld, people not getting away with shit. And the hard part is, you know, I know Paige. I know we had judges here. There's no part of me that is like, Paige is not capable of doing that work.
I asked her. I asked her, I go, hey, Paige, if you didn't do any step-ups and you did 20 snatches a round, minute one, and then you did 22 cals on the row, minute 2.
2 minutes off.
And they took 2 minutes off. Can you repeat that by 4 rounds? She goes, yeah. And I go, you know that's your score currently, right? And she was like,
you know that's like, and that's the hard part is like, there's got to be I don't know what the better way is, and I don't know if it's even feasible. The hard part is, you know, we can all sit here in the moment. Looks like a good rep. We slow it down frame by frame. We can pick apart any rep.
Do you think they do that?
I don't know. I don't know. I wish there was like a...
People know I do it, so they now assume.
I wish CrossFit had a media so they could show you kind of what goes into a video review process.
I heard they had one.
What happened, you know?
I don't know. This looks pretty good in here, though.
Yeah, I know, right? So, you know, that's the hard part for me is like, yes, like, let's uphold the standard, but we know Paige got 10th at the CrossFit Games.
I have some grace for the people in CrossFit too, because they're trying to figure it out as well. And I think with like all the changes recently, just like getting back settled in and so much changes of leadership in 4 years, it's like, how could anything be consistent? We need consistency in our sport, and that's all that's lacking. That's it. There's just no consistency in anything. Everything changes every single year, rule book changes every single year, and it's bound to have some chaos when that's happening. We just got to be ready for it. It's like be fit enough to not have to worry about it. That's what Pat Vellner does every year, and he never has to worry.
Well, this year he did.
but he's still in, right? So like he's so fit that even his penalty doesn't matter, and it's like just get that fit, and then you don't even have to worry about that stuff.
Give her a penalty, but don't kick her out of semifinals. We know the girl has the capacity, and that's the hard part. Is we use that precedent. So does Brooke Wells in 2018, we use that precedent. Right? So what's the precedent? Are we, do we keep that? Do we throw it out the window? Like, is that a former precedent? Is that a current precedent?
Do you talk to anybody over there about any of this?
Every once in a while.
Yeah. How do those conversations go? Do you feel as if the things you say have any weight?
So more as of late, for years I felt like it fell on deaf ears. But and the hard part is like, hey, what can be implemented this year, or hey, what can we look at for next year? I think what could have been done, or possibly, in my heart, obviously I want to stand behind Paige and want her to have a chance. So
like me and Bill. I don't know if you know who Bill Leahy is.
Oh yeah.
I was like, he didn't appeal.
Really?
Yeah, because we looked at it like, nope, those don't count. That's our fault. Dang it. But you want to stand by Paige.
You want to stand by her, and so I'm like, is it even feasible? In my heart, I'm like, you should have 24 hours to defend your score with the same score or less. If you say, hey, I can do these reps, let me see a good video of you doing it, and that's your score.
I like that.
And so, is it 24, is it 48, whatever it is that even feasible? If Paige gets docked
that's
to 600
probably not
or
feasible.
whatever, I don't know what place she got knocked out. And that's the hard part. Is it feasible, and at what point? She gets knocked to 600. Are we going to review all the other 600 videos in front of her?
The answer is
no. I would guess no.
At the moment, no.
And so, how is that fair?
It ain't.
It's not.
No.
So that's the hard part.
Yes.
How long have you been at Mayhem for?
We moved here with Dom, Jess and Nate and I, and Emma in October.
Gotcha.
It's been a few months.
So you're with Dom?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dom's like, does he write you programming?
He writes me programming, and then recently we've transferred to half individual, half group, just to get that experience, because that's what I'm kind of missing. But yeah.
Who's your group?
Well, it's group training at 9:30 every day. Most people come in.
I just saw you rowing by yourself.
Yeah, so that was my individual. So he'll sneak stuff in there. Right now, Jess is doing something that's her individual thing, and then we'll do the compete all together. Making me nervous. I almost over there.
That's a good thing, right? I think 33rd.
We're me, Bailey, and Brooke are we just keep shuffling, but it's been between 33rd and 35th.
You got all green lights?
All green lights.
How do you feel going into the semifinals? What's your intention? What are you thinking?
Well, last year I barely made it, and the goal was just be there and learn. And this year, now that I improved 20 plus spots, now it's okay, I'm putting my hat in the ring and let's actually compete. Let's try. Let's try. Yeah.
4 years in.
I started after COVID, so almost 4.
Does that hurt your head?
Yeah.
Trap 3?
CrossFitters just have massive traps up here because they're just
not lower traps. Do they know that's what they're doing?
No idea. Ever seen that really weird cartoon thing where it's a spoon and he's like, my spoon is too big.
What does that movement do? What does it do? What does it do for you?
It straightens.
Because that's what he said.
Straightens my shoulder. I just told you. I don't remember. It's shoulder.
Oh no. That's all that's going on while they're doing that.
I had no idea.
I wanted to talk to her a little bit, but I can tell it was.
It's tough, man. It's hard. That's what she's put her life into, and so we all put.
I had the camera, and I asked her. I'm like, "Can I talk to you about it?" And she goes, "Yeah, sure." And I'm like, "Yeah, no,
I'm not going to do
ease
that.
off."
That's cool. Well, good on you, man. It's just a hard spot. I'm sure she'll get to the point where she can talk about it, or will want to talk about it. But man, it's frustrating. Because, really, I'm talking out two sides of my mouth, and I know that.
Hey, Rory, that's a Rory phrase, right?
What, talking out two sides of my mouth?
I swear I've heard him say it 50
probably
times.
because this is his chair, so maybe it exudes from his chair. But it's yes, we want to uphold the standard, right? We want the standards, but if we're not holding it up for everybody, and it's not feasible, so what are we going to do? And I don't know the answer. I don't have the answer. That's my hard part.
Well, that sucks, too. Because you're sitting here giving reasons to do things with no answer.
No answer, yeah, right? And I think that's the world we live in currently,
I like to acknowledge the fact that no answer was given, and we're both aware of that, though.
yeah, exactly.
I think it goes a little ways.
yeah, I think so too, man. I think, and everybody's going to you know, they can say whatever in the comments. Well, I have this. I have the answer.
I think.
Exactly.
And you think Dave Castro's really going through there and like reading all? That's it.
No. I think Dave, as of late, will take a little bit more. I don't want to say criticism, but he'll take some, you know, conversation for sure. Like we had a good talk when we did that at Proven and hung out with him for the open workout. So that was pretty fun.
0.3?
Yeah, when we got in the room and just hashed it out a little bit. So
it was fun.
It was a good time.
You got nothing like super contentious you want to throw his way right now?
No, not.
Like, how dare you take Paige?
No, man. And Dave called me. You know, he's like, "What do we do?" And he's like, you know, he gave his same. And I told him kind of the 24-hour idea, and that was not immediately like. Absolutely not. We can't do that. But then he kind of gave his 1,000. I think he gave it on the weekly review where it was 1,000. They did 1,000 video reviews, and 17% were minor and 17% were major. I think is what he said.
Right.
He doesn't feel like that constitutes, you know, a redo for the workout. So I'm kind of like, I don't know at what point would you constitute a redo.
That is on one workout.
And
correct?
One workout. So it's a tough situation. I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
Mostly dropping. But do you remember Jake Squats by Dre?
Oh yeah.
Then they today. With a split jerk at the end. The good old days.
I love Squats by Dre. Like your man.
Yeah, I do it very often.
What was that question again? I think I missed it.
The question was, I'm not sure. The question was, what would you prefer, 1 year without training or 1 year without sex?
What would you say the skew is on that?
Sorry?
What would you say the skew is on that? How many people say training versus?
I think that, here, it's kind of half and half, which is weird to me. Outside of CrossFit gym, it's going to be like, I don't want to train.
That's a fantastic question.
Thank you. I have more, but I'm not sure if the camera is friendly to those questions. Maybe you put subtitles. Because my mom watches everything that is online. Is mine. My mom watches it. And
she doesn't watch my videos.
I'm going to be 50 soon, and she's still like. If I don't train anymore, but when I used to train in 2010, 12, I did a lot of gymnastics, and it was a time where you posted your works on Facebook and stuff like that. My mom would always write, "Why are you doing this? It's so dangerous. Don't forget that you're not really strong. Please stop." All the people will laugh and create about it. So I need to be careful with that.
I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
And then I'll do.
I like it a lot.
Why? Because it hurts or?
Because I don't got to do it.
Okay. Today, you're going to be doing start by sets of muscle snatch into behind the neck strict press. And it's very important you take into consideration how much rest time you need. If you have something that you need to improve before lifting your single heavy or whatever, have a mental checklist. Okay. Romansky. It's my life. When I know the movements, I just want to see how they do that, and I want to talk to them about how they're feeling, because it's been a long day already and we have a long week, so I want to take advantage of them and their fitness today. But it's going to be for sure burpee box jump overs. I would like to work on parallel traverses. I would like to use the torque and maybe Christophel double unders and see how it goes.
Christophel double under. You think they'll bring that back?
Sorry?
Semi-final training.
I don't know if they bring that back, but I just want to have at least the movement covered. So nobody says, "Oh, I haven't done this in 5 months." And I think mentally, when they go to a competition and they know they covered most of the things, that gives a lot of sense of self-confidence.
Osmond's on record of saying that this is nothing new.
I'll take that one. So I think there's a couple misconceptions there. Number one, this isn't new. There's always been criticism of judging both online and in person.
Which is something that will never leave my head. I think he said it 2 years ago on a podcast where they talked about the season. Like, this is nothing new. Like, everyone's all up in arms about it. And that's what I hear about this too.
Yeah.
They usually choose a workout. And during your time, I'm sure you remember they would choose a workout. And then they look at it. And if it was good, it was good. If it was bad, it was bad.
And so my hard part too is like, I have movements that, like if we're doing a qualifier or doing a competition, those movements stay out of there because they're so, like, there's such an arbitrary standard, like a push-up,
That's the box step up?
It wasn't until now. Now I'm like.
I like it because I said the same thing. It's like doing push-ups.
I know. Push-ups, man, are such a, like, you look at somebody and you're like, that's not a push-up. And they're like, what do I need to do? And I'm like, I don't know, you know, like
protract your scap.
Yeah, exactly. Like lift your hips up, and you know, because you get the upper body push up where the hips sag or whatever it is, and
hips on the ground a little long.
It is a push up, you know, or like a strict pull up. You can't judge a strict pull up, you know, like there's no way to judge that.
It's just a thruster.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just so hard, you know, and until this point, you know, we can play Monday morning quarterback and say, hey, do a box step over, but they didn't. So what are we going to do and how are we going to fix it? But I don't know.
How do you feel about the step down? They step down on every box jump over now. Like every over.
Save the Achilles, man.
Even on a workout like that where there's 150 of them? So it was the 50-50 for 3 rounds, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had to step down. Okay.
And it was just a weird thing.
That is a weird kind of.
There's 150 ones that really go to crush it, right? It's not like you're doing 20 around and it's lateral box.
Well, and I'm fine with the jump down. I don't like the rebound.
Romansky?
Roman, how's that ankle doing, man?
Ankle is good.
Is that what you're doing, taking care of it?
Yeah, I just exercise for my knee.
Oh, your knee?
Yeah, it's a little bit hard.
A little bit hard?
Yeah, just warm up.
Okay. Warming up?
Yeah.
I have that same block.
It's good. Yeah, my knee full. I still feel right here, but I can training.
10 out of 10 though, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. You killed the quarterfinals.
It's not kill. 4th place in the world.
4th place?
Yeah.
It's good, right? No?
This is my best place, yeah. Last year I was 27, I think so.
So it's better.
Yeah, so much better.
Make you go 2 minutes. 2-minute sprint.
That's all you got, Roman?
That's all?
Yeah, that's it?
I was like, come on.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Now you're gonna drink that?
Now you're breathing heavy. You get another drink?
No.
No, okay. No more? All right. That's it?
Before, yeah.
Okay. I can make something out of that.
Today?
Well, maybe today. You're a little pushy, right? Maybe. No, I'll do my best.
Okay.
I'll go start working on it and get you some. The tape and the ring.
Yeah,
gotcha. No problem, buddy.
Only one. Where would take West? Oh, you have West?
You have best?
Oh, okay.
Didn't you do some breakdancing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Let's see it.
Just challenge.
Come on. You got that? You do that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I gotta watch him do it again. That's complicated looking.
Tank?
Huh?
Tank? Why tank? Why tank?
Huh?
Why tank? Why not sled?
You can sled if you want.
The sled's harder. Tank too easy. How much step? How many steps?
We're talking about that now.
You remember my place from rope climbs?
Which workout? Oh, you did a lot of work.
Alpaca?
Alpaca, I remember. I also remember semifinals 2023.
No, you need to remember.
And it was a different type of memory.
Semifinals doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Games, very important.
Yeah.
Remember? We did the last rope climbs with Brent Facundo.
I remember, yeah.
We start together. Facundo. No. And Roman go.
But Roman, you won with the sled. It was a sled,
Bye,
no?
Brent.
It was a sled. Yeah. You had too much stocking, too little legless.
Bye, Brent.
Too much stocking, more legless. Come on.
I have picture when I sit like this. Yeah, in the games. It's hard.
Oh, no.
Let's go. More?
No. Okay. Everybody went already 5 times?
Same.
You do this every day?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? 1 minute?
Sometimes minutes, sometimes 2 minutes. I feel better after this. Like your muscles straight.
Did you do any of these workouts?
I messed around. I did the Event 3 with bar muscle ups, ring muscle ups, still kind of jack with my shoulder a little bit.
How'd it go?
Good. I did them all strict, and then handstand push-ups.
Handstand push-ups.
I was like, did it in the gym. When was it? I was like high 7s or something.
High 7s.
Like that. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
So, and then me and Dre tested a workout for his kind of gauntlet that he's doing at his gym the week before with clean and jerks. It was almost identical, but partner. So I didn't do that one. But those are the 2 I would have done. I didn't want to do that wall bar.
I wanted to ask because I know you spoke about playing around with them.
Yeah.
And you were going to switch out something for something. And
in the open workout, I switched out the deadlift for bench. That was a good one.
The weirdest sub.
Yeah.
Everyone's losing their mind.
Yeah.
It's like ruining the stimulus of it.
Yeah.
Who's next? Go.
Is there a hole in the top of that bucket? How are you sitting on that?
Huh?
How are you sitting on that? Oh my god.
Big old booty cheeks.
Nice. I don't know what that's like.
What's that?
I swear I've never seen that before.
Really?
Not unless you're using it.
Are you serious, or are you like saying I shouldn't be
sitting
sitting
on a
it?
bucket like that?
You sit on a bucket? Yeah.
With it?
Yeah.
Maybe upside down, right?
Not the rogue bucket.
Why not?
It's too low. It's too low. Is that parallel?
Yeah, below. Right below. Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to ask, and this is one of those questions where it's like, hey, I don't know if you remember, but you know Savon.
Oh yeah.
I think he's the guy who recorded it, and it was either before or after your first games win.
Okay.
You're sitting there at a desk. You were just eating a bunch of peanut butter and jelly out of a tin, and he goes,
Do you know anyone in CrossFit who's done steroids?
Not that I know of.
You don't know a single person.
Not that I know of. I've never really asked anybody, but not that, I mean, there's nobody off the top of my head that I'm like, yeah, that guy's done steroids.
Have you ever thought that anyone's doing steroids?
I don't think steroids would help you that much in CrossFit. I don't know.
Do you think people use performance-enhancing drugs in the sport? And you're like, I don't think they would help. And now this is about 10 to 12 years later.
Yeah.
And like, do you share the same opinion?
Man, I don't know. I wish back then, or now, I wish I would have like done blood work, because everybody, you read the comments, like, oh, he's on steroids, still is. And I'm just like, bro, I'm 95 pounds. I think the most I ever weighed at the CrossFit Games was maybe around the 200 mark at regionals. I don't think I ever at the games weighed 200, but you're just like, you like to think the best in people, but the more and more tests come out at times, you're like, all right, maybe people aren't as good as we thought. So, young and naive, I guess, maybe at that point.
Yeah. So
I would like to,
because you didn't?
No, hell no.
Right?
Never even touched them. Never even thought about it, because I was too damn afraid to get caught, even if, everybody's like, oh, you can pass a drug test easily. And I'm like, I don't even want to research that, because who knows if the
Google.
Somebody's going to look up my Google search,
Like get Dave Cashel back into the SEAL team. It's like, hey, look up CrossFitters searching for
drugs. Dude, back at the time, you're like, dude, they can find out anything. If I Google, how do I pass a drug test, I'm gonna fail.
Your tinfoil hat and get rid of the radio waves.
Exactly.
He said, what? I said, hey, Taylor, why were those rope climbs so slow?
You think you beat him on that?
You ripped your hands up? Running my mouth never ends well, so I keep my mouth shut.
I don't know about that.
Well, I don't think.
Name one time.
I've seen that. That's why I don't.
Maybe you run
I've seen
and then you live up to it.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Maybe something.
That's what the people want.
Sure do. And you know what they say.
Don't be the good guy.
You gotta give the people what they want.
You gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah, man.
Stupid comment you made?
Yeah, I think so. Naive. I would give
yeah.
it a naive. Yeah, I mean, and as the sport's grown and there's more on the line, and it's still kind of crazy to me that, really, if you look at it, a lot of people are in the sport as athletes. You're not making money, man. Unless you're in the top, whatever percent, you're still just grinding, right? Sponsors or free stuff or whatever. And so, man, maybe you didn't make that next level. You got to do what you got to do or whatever. But
the thing you got going for you is that you kind of looked the same for a long time.
Yeah. I've actually leaned out a little bit over the last couple of years. I've noticed. I think it's less whole milk. I think that was my secret.
What do you drink now? Like almond?
Almond, unfortunately. Inflammation. Inflammation, man.
Doesn't that increase estrogen?
Maybe. Hell, I don't know. I get blood work regularly. So
what does that look like?
And like
testosterone. Who do you get it from?
We actually just started working, or possibly going to work with blokes, but just a doctor in town goes to the gym. He's a PA, and I'll probably every I don't want to say every 6 months, that'd be a lie. Every year I do blood work just to see like where my testosterone and stuff is. So I'm usually
what
like
was it? I realized I cut you off.
700-ish, I think the peak it's ever been in the last couple of years like 780, but I'm like hovering right at 700. My problem is my SHBG.
Sex hormone binding globulin.
Yeah, I've got no free testosterone basically. So I think that's just from all the volume and all the stress.
Stressed, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, hide it well at
What's
times.
the lowest it's been?
Oh man, I want to say, so before I started intermittent fasting, I think I was around like 400. I don't intermittent fast anymore, but for some reason that like flipped everything.
Back in the old days, it was me and my brothers every day just smashing our heads against the wall, being competitive. So like that allowed me to get a nice competitive base, but you realize the longevity in that, it's only gonna take you so far, right? Like I would love to see the top 10 get an automatic invite back. And that's a huge incentive because it's like, you don't show up until August, but you have 3 months you can go work with the powerlifting coach, 3 months to go work with the endurance coach. And
you do any of that?
Dude, no. For me, it was just, last year would have been my 6th year going to the CrossFit Games. Obviously, I had my stuff going on, and I want to do this for another 6 years. So I was like, we need to take a break. Like, I need to take a step back and let my body get healthy. I was pushed so far to the point of like, I don't even want to say burnout, but like my body, my hormones, like everything was just, I felt.
Was that volume or?
It was just everything. Like pressure, a lot of athletes put pressure. I mean, every athlete's gonna have pressure to compete, to show up, but like you learn very quickly, like nobody cares.
You eat a lot?
Probably don't eat as much as I need to. The last couple of years,
you were eating a quesadilla when you walked in here.
Cheese quesadilla left over from the kids. Yeah, I had a half of the Chipotle bowl I had last night. And then
some things don't change, huh?
No, man. If I get busy or I'm doing something, I don't really think about food. It's weird. I have this. Everybody gets all upset if they're hanging out. They're like, "Where we're gonna eat?" If I forget, I just don't do it.
You think you were kind of born for where you're at the moment, as far as like winning the CrossFit Games 10 times? Currently, you'll ride the crap out of that.
4 and 6. You got to be careful with that. You know?
I know. I did that on purpose.
I know. I'm just kidding.
But you'll ride the bike crazy distances, and then you just rode in here, and I swear you look like you haven't lost any weight. You're maintaining a bunch of muscle
man. I
mass.
think
Do you look at yourself in the mirror and think I'm pretty much the same looking?
I think genetics as a very, like I look at a bunch of, I think I said it on camera, but being part of a big family, like our genetics, if you look at us from top to bottom, is pretty close. All of us, there's a couple outliers, but for the most part, all
outliers for the better or the worse?
Both. I think.
Are people more built than you?
You remember Darren, my cousin Darren? I mean, Darren worked out way less than I did and looked just as jacked, if not more jacked than I did, and still does. So all his brothers, there's a lot of us, and so I think genetics has a lot to play with that. We all know that you can do a lot physically and you can do a lot nutritionally, and it will make a big difference. But genetics is a huge play.
And the reason I ask that is because I wonder if you ever knew at any point when you're doing CrossFit that you're like, hey, this is my calling. I'm going to go win the CrossFit Games. I know that I'm kind of built for this. I can handle the volume. I'm strong enough. I'm gymnastically inclined. Maybe I've even been brought up this way. Does that at all play into your thought?
I don't think until after, really. I
so
think
in hindsight, maybe a bit?
In the hindsight, yeah. I think, like I was saying, it was almost a perfect storm of all that stuff. The sports that I played, my parents not allowing us to have video games growing up. I still suck at video games. My kids don't play video games half the time.
iPads?
They have them for travel, but I keep them pretty well locked up. They're pretty pissed at me.
They're locked up?
Oh, yeah, on the regular. Yeah. They're like, where are iPads?
They got like a lock pick and they're trying to get in there. Yeah. Like, hey, get away from the safe.
Yep. So they...
You're not even worried about like a rifle in there. It's like, stay away from the iPad.
Stay away from the iPad. The rifle's safe.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's unloaded. So yeah, no, man, it's fun though. Like, I mean, you see what we got here. It's 160 acres and they can pretty much go do whatever they want as long as they stay out of that bison field. That's the number one rule.
Dangerous?
You just don't want to get around.
Is that barbed wire surrounding the bison?
Oh, yeah.
Like they can't go in there.
No. Well, they can get in there.
Yeah.
You haven't met my son, have you?
No.
No, yeah. He's a wily one.
You think you got to do X, Y, Z, and like you don't go and you realize nothing's changed, and like that's the reality. it opened my eyes that you need to have a bigger plan. And how are you impacting people? For me, it drove me back in an affiliate. Like, athletes, people are probably gonna hear me breathing heavy in this, but
no, it's okay.
Not enough athletes are in an affiliate. Like, that's the reality. That you look at like the OGs, and like, I came up with the OGs, I was just young. Like, I couldn't compete, 150 pounds, soaking wet, 14, 15 years old. We didn't have it
now.
About 185. But like, I came up, watching those guys, competing with my brother, competing with those other guys as well. But those guys were all on the L1 staff. Those guys owned affiliates, coached in affiliates. They understand the methodology. How many athletes understand the methodology today? How many athletes are willing, and this isn't a dig on anyone, this is just...
You mean you shouldn't be throwing down gallons of sugar and then also promoting it?
Right, 100%. And how many athletes can step in an affiliate and coach? Like, honestly.
He coaches.
I know. And I just started coaching in my affiliate where I'm at now. I'm doing clinics on the weekend with people getting their first muscle ups, and like, just seeing people break these boundaries. Like, my problem is now I go into affiliate to train, and I start coaching and wanting to see people reach their goals. And that's great. That's great. Like, that's how it should be. Like, the world's not gonna revolve around you forever as an athlete. Like,
what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, like, when you're 37, 38, who's gonna care?
You learned this from your brother?
No.
You learned this from yourself?
No, it's just stuff that I've been very observant on, and I've come to learn that, I started CrossFit at the same time as Scott. Like, we all started in 2008. He was a bigger boy than me. But what are you gonna do when you're 37, 38? Like, no, it's true. Like, I didn't go to college. I stepped right into competing and coaching in an affiliate.
Do you have an answer for that for you?
That was this whole year. It's stepping into helping people, being a part of an affiliate, talking to Leahy about some things that he can improve on in his workout and make him a better athlete. Like, it's easy for me to come in here and be like, screw everyone, I want to win. You need to have that mentality when you step on the floor, but to have that mentality every day, no. Like, the point of having training partners is to be able to push each other. Like, there's 40 spots, and until you get to the games, uplift the people around you, because when they rise, you rise. And like, whether that's a competitive athlete or whether that's an average Joe in the gym that just wants to work out with you, like, that's where the magic's at. And it taught me, I'm losing my voice because I talk so much, but it taught me this off season, you need to be more than an athlete.
That's the environment that I'm trying to create for them, is like, hey, you want to play a sport? Let's play a sport. I'll support you in whatever. Play as many as you want, one at a time. That's our rule. But play as many as you can, do as much as you can. We're outside all the time. Hey, you want a mountain bike? We got trails, so they've got bikes. There's 2 of them laying out in the yard. They got rained on all night. There's wiffle ball bats all over the yard. I don't know if you saw that. And so, yeah, heck yeah.
I was just talking to another athlete, and Facundo's got some athletes there. I don't really know if you can consider it a camp, but we're going to call it a camp. He's got like a little athlete camp going. And one of the athletes there was talking about the difference in times, and I'm sure you've heard this, and you're from a different time, as it's like even Fraser is Medeiros, and like there's just like these, I don't know, eras, if you will. And what you just said right there is something that's very different than you see present day. I guess there hasn't been time for it to really develop, but you just kind of gave the Greg Glassman idea of what CrossFit is. It's like, hey, I got these kids, I'm gonna have them do this, and why are we doing this for that? Just do as much as you can.
As much as you can. That's dude, if I get on a soapbox about kids quitting their sport to do CrossFit, it drives me crazy. Like, that's my pet peeve at the moment, or it has been almost my whole career, man. I played sports even when I competed. I got a bad, or not a rap, but people were like, I can't believe you'd go play roller hockey or play flag football or whatever, or mountain bike. And I'm like, dude, that's
1.1 million views on YouTube.
Yeah, right, well, yeah, now
that's what I look at.
Yeah, but at the time, that's not what I was going for. Man, I like playing sports, and that's what I tell these kids. And it's hard because you look at some of them, and around here you get that kind of like locker room team kind of feel because everybody's training together.
You've been in the locker room?
I have, yes.
Notice how everyone has a locker, including Roman. But where's his stuff?
Where's his what?
Where's his stuff?
There's none in there?
Oh,
it's all over there. That's Roman's locker.
That's Roman's locker.
And everybody's hanging out, and that's you learn so much being part of a team. Like I look at my daughter and how to process, failure and an at bat, come right back up in a little bit and hit again or get a ball hit to her or whatever, and she's completely present, or watch her development just in, 6 weeks of playing basketball. And I'm like, man, that's what sports is about, and relating to people and teammates and how different teammates are affected by different things and how you encourage them or not even get onto them, but, motivate them. And so there's so much to be learned by playing team sports, and that's what I don't want kids to miss out on. My kids, if they want to, we go to CrossFit Kids, we got a preteens, Lakeland. My kids love working out, and at no point have I ever said, hey kids, we're going outside and you're going to work out. Like,
when they're into it.
I will say, get outside and play, but they will ask, Lakeland will ask to go to the gym to do, like when I picked the kids up this afternoon, they're like, hey, we going to the gym? And so, they might not go in there and just do a CrossFit workout, but they're going to run around, jump, climb on boxes, swing on rings. There's a basketball, go in there, build forts, do whatever, like what kids should be doing. And so that's
riding around on like that Nerf scooter.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, Trice has a Nerf scooter, shoots. Dude, when we were doing our bike race, him and a buddy were following the camera guys around, and they'd sit in the woods and shoot us with Nerf guns as we passed by. So you're just like, you little bastard.
You're ruining our splits, dude.
Yeah.
If you think about it, every single games athlete is a sponsored CrossFit athlete. You think you have brands coming in, dropping millions of dollars on these athletes. CrossFit, like, let's promote CrossFit. You know what I mean? Like, how do we give athletes the opportunity to rise and to be able to promote it? And I just think it's super important. Like, if I can help educate any young athletes, and I just signed up to do that internship with the young athletes, the 14 and 15-year-olds, because those are the ones that are going to be leading our sport in 5-6 years. And like, you saw Rich, Scott, Dan Bailey, Matt Chan, Chris Spiller, Jason Khalifa. That was a generation that all of them owned an affiliate. Where are we now? And I'm not saying you have to own an affiliate, but you need to understand what you're doing. How do you bring these athletes together to understand that? Like I said, I'm not trying to knock on the athletes, or anyone, but like, we need to have the conversation. How do we continue to have this sport grow if we want to continue to do it? Imagine if you don't, and this is just a thought, imagine if you couldn't go to the CrossFit Games unless you had your L1.
Cool thought.
Right?
L2.
L3. Make it L4.
Hell yeah.
But
imagine that. I heard that's hard to pass. The
L4? L1's hard to pass. The L1's hard to pass. Like, I felt it the first time, and that's the truth. Like, I rolled in there, I was like, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing CrossFit since 08. I was 16, 17-year-old.
Hey, if that's true, you might be the first person I've ever heard say they failed their L1.
I failed it twice. But
is that also true?
And then I studied, and then I passed it.
Okay.
But
that's expensive.
It's not, yeah. That's when I decided to study. But like,
look how far you've come.
Yeah, and that's why I love it. Like, that's why I didn't go to college, because I love it so much. Because I saw myself wanting to be a part of this for as long as I can, and wanting to see it continue to grow and evolve. Like, you have CrossFit the sport, but you also have CrossFit in the affiliate, and they're the same, but they're different.
I was sitting in there. So you got back from your bike ride, you went and like showered or something, came back from the cheese quesadilla, and I'm sitting in there and it's like really quiet. And there was a time where everything that you were putting out for Mayhem was from that barn.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it wasn't ever quiet.
No, man, it's this last probably year. It's been quiet ever since we built that athlete facility.
So like one is that's it. Like one, is it weird?
Yeah.
Like how quiet it is here.
Yeah.
Like I'm the only car here. Other than I'm assuming your cars.
Yeah.
And then two, that athlete facility. The craziest thing I heard was I walked in there with Josh and everybody at that camp, and he goes, "All right, this is how it works here. If you don't make semis, you're out. If you don't make the games, you're out." And I'm like, whoa. And one, is that what it was like here? And two, what has it been like going from here to there? And what
And so to back that up, so the way the back works is,
the athlete area facility.
There's only so much space, and so we have to prioritize whoever's there. So if you make, basically you have access to that facility until you're eliminated from the season, and then as soon as the season's over, you're back in there as long as you made it to semifinals. And then games, obviously, you get to stay in there. So, man, we have to, like they still have access to the main gym, and it's open to them throughout the day as long as they don't get in the way of the class. So they they're not like, hey.
And there's a lot of space in there too.
It's 21,000 square feet, so you can find somewhere. You just got to be a little bit more judicious with your time because there are classes, man. And that's why we built the athlete facility, because we did have some athletes here, some athletes there, just kind of depended. And everybody.
Did you build it all to like get people off your lawn?
No, dude. Actually, I mean, we just got to where there's so many athletes here, and we were running. It felt weird that like, hey, you can't work out here because we don't have the space. You have to go to the gym. So now there's just like, everybody's still there, right? But man, this is open. Like they'll be like, hey, you mind if I go up to the barn? I'm like, it's there for you guys to use. It's not.
So they prefer to work out.
Yeah, I don't understand it, man. I'd love to be like, I love it out here. I'll go to the gym when I can, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go to the barn. There's just something about the barn that it's just. I think I've trained here for years, so it's just like home. But there's times a year where I want to be at the gym as well. So.
No, this is for your grip. Yeah. So here, and then loosen your hands so you don't use.
What material are those shorts made out of?
Yeah, I would just need.
You like them, huh?
Here?
They look soft.
They're cotton.
Oh no, that's gonna hold some sweat.
They don't really show off the cake appropriately.
It's not gonna pinch me right there?
Those are not good cake shorts.
No, they look funny.
It's like,
This is good. There you go.
What size?
Let it just like rotate.
let's see if there's a smaller one outside.
How'd the rope go?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I did 25 and then I wasn't supposed to go 25. My problem is sticking to a plan. But it felt good. I worked on those a lot last summer, so it feels natural, but the fatigue just sucks.
You seen the Avengers?
Oh yeah.
The second one, or Thanos, it's like the opening scene. He's sitting there and like smelling the roses after he snapped and everything was gone. That's kind of what I felt like when I was out there. And I wonder if Rich ever sits here and he goes, I'm going to look out on a peaceful world. And now everyone's hanging out at Mayhem in the athlete area.
Yeah, man, there is part of me that's like, oh man, it is nice at times where you're just like, you look out and there's not 15 cars out here. Yeah. But part of me is like, I liked it. The kids liked it, and people were great with the kids. And we'd be doing handstand walk obstacle, and Trice would come flying down on a scooter, and you're just like, bro, you gotta wait, man.
You gotta argue that might even be a good thing for the athletes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Keep you on your toes. So.
You ever have any like bad eggs? So they come on over and you had to give them the boot?
No, not any at the highest levels. We've had a couple that.
How about like almost high, like a semifinal borderline person where it's like, you know what, you're not allowed to.
A little bigger than your britches.
You can't sit with us anymore.
No, we just kind of like. I think they kind of phase themselves out. I always joke that I have like 4 years with people, and then they kind of get tired of my abrasiveness. I think,
right.
Being a firefighter being a firefighter, and then being a part of team sports, it's very locker roomish around here where you just kind of give each other shit. Mm-hmm. If I don't like you, I'm not going to give you any shit, basically. And so, I think after so long, people are like, all right, I'm done. So It is what it is. But for the most part, people that have moved on from here. Like Tasia's been awesome, and all the girls that have been part of the teams have been great, and Dre's still with us, and we've had a lot of good people come through here for sure, and still will for sure.
Like what happened last week?
Whole thing.
Okay, so I finished in 50th after quarterfinals.
Right.
Horrible weekend. Did not think I had any chance of making it, so I went out to eat for every single meal. And oh gosh, we went to Five Guys, Olive Garden, the Doodle, which is like burgers. Where else did we go? Dairy Queen, Ralph's, and got donuts, brunch. Oh my gosh. We went somewhere every single day. Midtown Social, and we both got a full pizza. Basically, we were just eating whatever we want all last week, staying up till 1 a.m. watching TikToks, just being depressed, and then every single day, the we first started getting a little different. I was like, there's no way. I literally packed up my suitcase because I was gonna go home for the next month.
Where's home?
Cleveland. And
Cleveland rocks. You know? She hates that. I could tell.
And then we were at brunch yesterday, getting food again. And I looked at the leaderboard, all my videos have been improved, and I had moved to 41, and I knew of at least one girl going team, so I was like, I actually have a chance of competing. So then I worked out today, it felt pretty bad on every single workout, and I died. That's why I looked like I was dying.
We didn't, Jess.
I'm dying, feeling it.
Donuts?
Yep.
It's all double unders?
Fitness pace, and I was gonna stay 1 week off and eating all this, whatever I wanted. This is not feeling good right now. It's not even double unders, it's just moving.
Just moving? Yeah. It wouldn't matter what you were doing? No.
I could be going for a walk and I feel like I'd be feeling it. It's crazy what 1 week. But just sitting around and do it.
Ice cream and Olive Garden and Chick-fil-A.
Yes. It's also just getting my head back.
Huh?
Just also getting my head back in it when I had the mindset that I was done. So it just feels a little rough. It's okay though.
You got what, 28 days?
I think like 30.
30?
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to this season, if anything? CrossFit season, that is. Do you pay attention to that sort of stuff? I mean, you knew it was going on at the quarterfinals, obviously, but how engaged with you are?
Yeah, I'll be at semifinals with the team or with all of our athletes.
This year?
Hopefully not. Hopefully.
How'd that feel last year? You got the boot.
Part of it was childish in the fact that me being childish. But part of it, man, I was like, here's the deal: is
that was your first year not competing.
For first year not competing, and just to be told, I was told not to give you access, and I'm not trying to like, I don't want, hey, kiss the ring. I don't want to like a balcony or anything. Like, I just want to be able to see my athletes compete, go on the.
You were a coach.
I was a coach. Granted, I didn't have a coach's band.
Mm-hmm.
They were, like, I wasn't directly attached to any athlete. That was the term. And in my defense, I was like, Ro, hey, do we need to do anything? Nope, it's all handled. Do we need to do anything? And it wasn't Rory's fault either. We were told Rich will be taken care of. So I get there, hey, you can stay in the warm-up area. There's only 10 coaches can go out on the floor at a time in the coaches area. And I just want to be able to watch the athletes. I'll take pictures, shake hands, whatever. But while I'm watching the athletes, let me watch the athletes. So I needed a spot, right? And so I look over there. Angelo and the team are about to go out. It's on Thursday or whatever, first day. Nobody's there. There's 6 coaches. I'm like, he said 10 coaches. So I'm going to go over there and I'm going to walk out with them. So as I'm walking out, somebody comes up and says, I was told not to allow you access. Like, all right.
They open up a jacket pocket and like, yep, that's the guy.
Yep, that's him. And so I left and I was like, I'm not coming back.
You know what? I'm not leaving.
And so they were like, hey, we're sorry. And I was out of principle. I was like, I'm not coming back. And then finally everybody's like, hey, why don't you come back on Sunday? I was like, all right, I'll go back like a child. So I know I'm childish at times.
So this year you're hoping that don't happen?
I'm hoping that doesn't happen. So hopefully I'll be there.
And which means when you say hope, it means that there's nothing that means it won't. It could happen again.
It could happen. You never know.
Yeah.
Hopefully I won't say anything too inflammatory before then that I get removed from the you can't sit with us list.
Right.
Cardio, maybe a little bit cardio, yeah. I don't know. He does, coach.
Okay. He didn't tell you?
What?
He didn't tell you yet? No. Pretty normal day today?
Yeah. Lifting, accessory, mid-con, second session, same accessory, mid-con and cardio. Yeah.
Right. I like it. Looks good. Looks hard.
Yeah. Usually it's Monday, always hard for me. I feel better, and Friday or Saturday it's feel better. I don't know why. Maybe I'm like car, start slower, and fast.
Going downhill, a downhill car.
To the moon.
To the moon. Were you scared?
No.
No?
I'm good.
No worries? Everyone was scared, not you?
Yeah. I always do clean. I always did it clean.
Yeah. I've never seen anything bad from you. It's always good.
Yeah. I'm scary when I didn't work out. Yeah, no after.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Think about early, no after, right?
Right.
No late, yeah. Because it's only your bet. If you do no rep, it's your bet. No George bet, no CrossFit bet, right?
Right. You.
It's your life. Nobody cares.
Right. Well, you care. Yeah. You.
Yeah, only me. Yeah. Yourself, all right?
Right. Now you mentioned to me right before I started recording, hey, I would have kept competing if it weren't for the heat.
Yeah, it weren't for the heat.
Now they're going to Texas and it's going to be inside.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is AC, hopefully. Unless they leave it up. What was it, like 3 years ago in Madison, they didn't have the AC on in the, were you in there, the Coliseum, when it was like
No, I was there, it was hot.
Full on.
Yeah, was that during like the thruster workout?
The thruster, yeah, because dude, I got so sweaty, you're trying to wall walk and you're sliding. So, you know, I hope, for me, the thing that affects my fitness the most is heat and humidity. I sweat so much that at some point I can't hold on to anything. So I hope that doesn't become a thing for athletes. But no, I think, man, I just want it to be successful. I think it's better for all of us if it's successful.
Absolutely.
I don't want it to. I want it to still be here. I want it to one day to be able to tell my grandkids, yeah, I was there when it first started. So let's just let's figure it out. You know, let's figure out how to make this thing successful.
And then outside of CrossFit, what do you got next?
I got Leadville coming up. Got a summer with the kids. I've got 2 baseball and coaches pitch game tonight. So
you're pitching?
I'm the coach that pitches. Correct. Yeah.
You said yesterday.
I've thrown a couple no hitters. So
yeah. That's not a good thing.
Not a good thing. No. That's not a good thing.
Hey, quick math tells me that's bad.
Yeah.
Did you win yesterday?
No, we did not.
No?
Lakeland's team lost last night. Man,
what position did she play?
She's been playing first base and pitcher. She's a good lefty, fast hitter. And then Trice has played second base and you have a pitcher that stands beside you and fields that position because you're not allowed to. He hits really well, but it's been a learning experience for me. I'm so damn competitive. I hate losing at anything.
I saw you at Chipotle and you're walking out and I go, hey, I'll see you tomorrow. He goes, yeah, I got a softball game right now, or a game right now. And I go, you playing? He goes, no, kids are playing. We're going to lose. Yeah. And you were all mad.
Yeah. Man, it's hard. And I've come to the realization, if they have fun, they're learning, and first of all, if they play hard, they're learning, and they have fun, we're good. Nobody cries. I can't do the crying. That's my speech to our kids, our 7 to 8 year olds every day. Hey, if you play hard, if you listen to the coaches, nobody cries, and you have fun, I'm like, we're good. I won't yell at you. I might yell to you of like, hey, pay attention, ball's coming wherever, but I'm not gonna get in a kid's face at 7 and 8. But then after the game, every game, I'm like, all right, did we have fun? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, you know what would be more fun? If we win. And I'm like, yes. And so last game, we came within 2 runs, and that was the closest we've been. And it was cool to see they were like mad.
They're ready to explode.
They were like, we were so close. And I'm like, finally, so.
Dude, Saxon, I promise. Yeah, those are good because you can get. I promise. It's like a Harry Potter one.
It's not legal. Dave Costa, think about this.
They're just like.
Everyone looks ugly, you just said? I think they look all right.
I think their movements will make people look good, and there are things. He looks good, yeah. Yeah, because look at this. Not anymore.
Yeah, I feel like getting around too.
Yeah.
Legs?
Honestly, it's pretty even.
Not bad?
Legs and arms.
Say easy?
No, even. Those people are way harder though.
The black parallel?
They're light and then they're wide. So these are like tight and stay better. It's way easier to convert to. So that last set I did all of it right there. That was way harder. So Saxon's basically scaling. Good job, Saxon. does 2 burpees and he sweats.
Yeah. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, like the Froning school, like 2 burpees and all wet.
So you try to do rope
But look at this, not even wet, kind of. Well, a little bit here. Saxon, he doesn't sweat.
Sweating that much.
No?
Saxon is dry. Look.
Yeah, Saxon's
You know, I was talking to Danielle Brandon the other day, and
Yeah.
she said that once you sweat like Jorge, you've unlocked peak fitness.
Yeah, well.
She said
There
that
you
as she was drenched in sweat.
Yeah, it's true. I've seen
And then she looked at Bill and she goes, "Yeah, he's not quite there yet."
And you're gonna do Leadville.
Yeah, Leadville's
when is
coming up in
Leadville?
August, same
I know
weekend
you're
as the
covering
games.
that on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I've already, I had already committed to that, and then the games, and man, I wish we would just
Same
pick-
week.
I wish we'd just pick a weekend for the games instead of like I've competed anywhere from July 21st, which was my birthday, to now middle of August. Like I get venues make a difference, but like, can we just go like, hey, it's always the 3rd weekend in July or the 1st weekend in like whatever. Can we just pick a weekend and stay with it? But
your media team's going to be shot.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big week.
I think I'm only going to
your
take
Leadville
one.
video is big.
Yeah, I
A lot
don't
of
think
production
it's
value.
going to be as big this year.
No?
I think we're going to kind of highlight. We got 10 athletes riding with us through Mayhem Missions and the Legacy Foundation. So we're going to document kind of their journeys, and then also me with them. So it'll be fun. It'll be different.
I want to see it. Come on. Go, 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 go. You did it, you have to do it now, bro.
How many sets?
Many. 10, 12.
They don't know?
No. Get to 2,150, I let you go. 150, I let you go, otherwise you continue.
How fast?
3,150.
And he's done?
If he touches there, even from 1 millisecond, you're good to go. Come on. Go, 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 go. Oh, there you go. You're good, boy.
Ready for me as well?
Go down, be fast to here, because like you want to make your pulls faster. Okay. Think fast to here, and then literally jump, bring your body in. But arms fast. You want your strokes a minute to be up. I'll get to 2,000 and let you go. So fast arms to the top, and then jump and slam everything back down. Come on, Jorge.
Bounces off of the softball comment.
Yeah.
You said you want them to play hard.
Play hard. Listen. Have fun.
Have fun.
Or no, sorry, no crying.
No crying.
And then have fun.
There's a handful of, I don't know if you click around on the internet the way I do, and I know you don't, because you don't have the time. That's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
The people who are talking about the penalties in the quarterfinal workout, it's almost like a sob story, and then they'll post one step up. It's like a slideshow. It's like, really upset. We get it. You're upset. That sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Slide number 2 is like, here's this email from CrossFit. Slide number 3.
Here's one of my
here's
good
a step
step-ups.
up. And I go, well, what about the other 80?
Yeah.
And I can only imagine that if they had somebody like you coaching them at some point in their life, and it's like, hey, number 1, you're going to have fun. Did you do that during the quarterfinals?
Yep.
What's number 2? Play hard. Did you do that during the quarterfinals?
Yep.
And number 3 is no crying.
No crying.
And legitimately, you're breaking rule number 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it's a sport, it's a sport, and the sport decided
That was the rules, man.
Yeah.
And
you
that's-
lost by
that's-
2.
that's my
and
hard
now you're
part.
angry. You should be angry, but you shouldn't be upset at the sport.
The sport. No, it's not the sport's fault that was the standard, you know?
Now, I wonder what it would be like if that was like kind of instilled at
an early age. I don't know. That's our job, right?
I'm applying something you said somewhere else.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's our job. I think is, you know, if
as coaches,
man, that's what we're supposed to do. Is we're supposed to be there to support, but we also, hey, we gotta instill a little bit of accountability and making sure that we're held to that standard.
I told you Bill didn't appeal, right?
That's
my guy. Do you know who Bill Leahy is?
I saw clips of the video you did with him.
Yeah, I think he's gonna win the CrossFit Games and all that. But we looked at his video and we're talking about it on the phone. And like,
so is he out?
No, he's in.
Oh, he's in. Okay, but
got
is he
a
in the
15%.
West though?
He's in the West,
yeah.
but he also got a 15%, not a 20 or a 25 or whatever.
Yeah, that makes a difference too, man. Man, the East. That's the hard part too. It's like you look at scores in the West. Paige would still be in.
Yeah? With that penalty?
I think so. I think Scott. I don't know. I need to check that out. Well, you can quote me, but somebody said that.
Get the full quote.
Get the full quote. Yeah. Somebody said that, and I could be taking that out of context. I know
that the East is stronger.
Yeah, for sure. Correct. Top to bottom. Yeah. And not to say that like the qualifying athletes that have come out of the West aren't the same. Like
Vellner and Medeiros.
They're
and all
still
them,
yeah. But I think top to bottom, you're looking at. I think the East is stronger, but it's always been that way. Well, Central East. I don't remember those days, but
things that CrossFit may or may not and probably won't listen to.
Yeah, we got to figure out.
Giant leaderboard.
I think an 80 person leaderboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I just talked to Rory about that. Yeah, or maybe it was Dom. I get them all confused now.
Yeah, they're all good dudes.
All right, dude, you got anything?
No, man. Appreciate you coming out.
Cool. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Cool.
Work out?
Yeah, let's work out.
Smash that like button, no one touches there.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!